Hello guys and gals, and welcome back to another episode of Haunted Gaming. This time, we take a look at a creepypasta called Perfect Game. What could be so perfect about this game? Well, sit down, relax, and enjoy this creepypasta called Perfect Game. I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. I love video games, let's just get that out there. I've been playing them since I was a kid, whether it was our old SNES and Genesis, or the pink Game Boy Color I woke up to on my 6th birthday. I'm a gaming girl, and I've always been proud of my puzzle platforming, RPG love. My family told me to hide my love of video games, saying that girls shouldn't like these things, you should like shopping and makeup. Now that I'm in college, though, I've become proud of my love and am less afraid to share that with others. Now, I'm not some oldies fanatic. The new games have their own awesomeness. Most of the time, Sonic 06, I have played through Sonic Unleashed and actually enjoyed the night levels, much to my brother's chagrin. And I adore Super Mario Galaxy, still working on Skyward Sword though, just can't take the Wii to college, my sisters. Much to my mother's delight, did outgrow their video game tendencies. My little brother was always advancing, getting the latest systems. I enjoy the Wii, yes, and I do have my own 3DS, a Christmas present for my mother and father, something I did not expect as my mother wants me to be a girly girl. We're pre-ordering the new Pokemon game together. Still, I was the only one in my house to play the old systems, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, 3, Bubsy, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Super Mario World, Sonic and Knuckles. I appreciated and still loved all of them as much as I did my new Harvest Moon and Pokemon. I was the only one to play them though, so my parents told me I could take the systems to college with me. My first goal after getting this permission was to get some new games, ones I hadn't had a chance to try as a kid, along with all my favorite classics. Though I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. See, I found a copy of Super Mario RPG at a comic convention for $40, right in my budget. It was a wonderful copy in great condition. I played through the game until I had to go back to college, excitedly waiting for two things: my birthday, and the day I could bring the systems to school with me. My birthday meant money, and money meant I could buy old games for my Genesis and SNES and pre-order Pokemon X. My birthday came in with it gifts. Most people give money now, which meant I could get the games I wanted and maybe invest in a good old Nintendo 64. I had wanted one for a while now. Excited, I made plans to get to a store I'd heard sold, good N64s. And meanwhile went on Amazon to see if I could find anything. Being a college kid with no car left me very limited in where I could visit. My Amazon account let me buy whatever I pleased. Excited, I began to browse. Hey Rumi, look, a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'd never gotten to play the game. I wanted to do for a while, but sadly, we could never find a copy of it, so I was limited to playing Sonic and Knuckles over and over again. Finally, if I bought this game, I could play the whole story though. I was so excited. I happily clicked through the options. I'm pretty Amazon savvy, and I bought multiple games and copies from Amazon. I never had a problem with it though. One was cheap, good condition, labeled as simply not having a box or instruction manual. I didn't need the manual, no. I played Sonic and Knuckles so much that I had memorized. It should all be fine. Happy to have found this steal, I clicked purchase. This is where I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. It came a week later, as expected. I get poor reception for purchases, so it surprised me to get it so quickly. I carefully brought it up to our room, having rescued both my SNES and my Genesis from home. The cartridge was all I got, but it had been advertised as much, so I wasn't worried. It had a sticker on it, but it was the right label and just a good deal altogether. I wanted to play, but first, schoolwork. My roommate and I both had homework, so it was best to do that first. It was a calm evening of studying and laughing between us, though we were both excited for the new game. She'd also played some of these old games, but never Sonic 3 and Knuckles. While working, we talked about the just finishing finals week and the upcoming tournament until she decided she was done studying. As she went to bed, I promised to keep the game down low. I settled, snapped open my vanilla Coke, and turned on the game. I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. The graphics were a bit distorted, but I figured that this was simply because it was an old game and my TV was a few years old, so this didn't bother me too much. It took me a few tries for the game to run, and then I was greeted with that familiar Sega chime. It warned me. I was ready to play. Sonic and Tails raced onto the screen, and I happily sang along to the song of the first level. It's wonderful to get to play this new game. It was perfect, beautifully made, and a wonderful game. There was no one level I hated. A perfect game. I hadn't seen one of these in ages. I played half the night, getting all the way to Hydro City and then went to bed. Gotta be a good student. I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. My roommate tried it the next day. She loved it just as much. It was so fun. We happily explored the new levels, playing my favorite special stages ever, and just tried to enjoy the game. It was so amazing. We kept going back to it instead of Super Mario RPG, instead of Pokemon Stadium, and even my White 2 started falling to the wayside. My friends didn't get it. They said I spent too much time on it. I just didn't get them. How could they not like this game? It's wonderful. My roommate and I just brushed off their confusion and enjoyed it. More for us, right? We could play and debug, explore the levels, and collect the emeralds. Then the Super Emeralds! Oh, to see Super Tails for the very first time. You know, Tails is my favorite character. There's a plush of him on my bed, along with Cream and hopefully someday a Shadow Doll. To see him as Super? Oh, I worked for it. But I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. I can't tell you how happy it makes me that I got the game. My roommate and I used to be stressed out all the time about school and class and our bad relationships with our families, but now we just let that stress melt away and play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, leaping and flying and climbing around the areas and collecting Chaos Emeralds. There's no reason to worry anymore. And then we have such a perfect game to play. I love to goof around as Tails and try to get all the Super Emeralds. I love Super Tails. Why doesn't Sega utilize the form again? Or the hyper forms for Knuckles and Sonic? They're so original and fun. I love Super Sonic. Why can't we have Super Amy or Super Cream or Super Tails again even? And always helping Sonic out, why not? I can't believe I never played this before. I wonder who else didn't get a chance to experience this. But I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. So why did I buy this game, take it from another person who can experience this? Why didn't I let another child try it? I was appalled, but I love it so. My friends don't get it, don't understand why we love it, but they just need to play it to see how wonderful it is. I don't stress out anymore. I don't cry over school and grades. It's amazing. My roommate loves it too. We can't stop playing some nights, taking turns as the night wears on. I found an adorable wallpaper for my computer and posted it so Tails could greet me every time I worked on homework. Golden flickies all around him. I began looking up stories and codes for the games, enjoying it more than just my playtime. My roommate and I would even look up YouTube videos of people adding lyrics to Hydro City and then other Sonic levels from other games. It was such a good game. Everyone should get the chance to play it. But I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. Maybe I can tell the world. Maybe I can share it with you. I can show you where to buy it, what to do. Heck, even a ROM will do. Though I don't endorse pirating, you have to try it. Give it a try. Play Sonic 3. Get the Hyper Emeralds in the only game in which they exist. See Super Tails, Hyper Knuckles, Hyper Sonic! My roommate can't help but stare at the shining Sonic, his rainbow sheen. My golden Super Tails can't just stand and let the flickies protect him. No more Tails abuse for him! And the Hyper Sonic and Knuckles are just amazing and totally worth it. You won't want to play any other games. Why would you want to do anything else but help them achieve perfection in this perfect game? Please, give it a try. I can't recommend this game enough. I shouldn't have bought this perfect game. Well, would you look at that? It's a unique kind of story, to be honest. Usually it would go from acquisition to the game messing up to the climax of horror in a creepypasta that I usually would read. But here you get you get just this game, really, and then it was attraction and obsession down to getting, completely obsessed with the game. You get this, it's the player that is at fault versus, the game itself is not really hacked or obsessed. And mind you, as I say this, I'm not really an expert at Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so I don't really know much about the game. It was cool seeing that it, again, wasn't the game. It was the player themselves going more and more crazy. Now, one of my issues with this one is a glaring one. It's not really creepy. So you might think it's complete crap. I mean, let me start. The game is just perfect, but it's not really explained. I mean, you get cool looking characters and collectibles, but it doesn't help add eeriness. It doesn't encapsulate us. We don't understand why the player really sees it as perfect rather than just saying it is. It's just there, and it confuses me on why, it is perfect. That's a problem. And the problem is everyone is unique. We all have a different way we see things. And there's no way to really show the reader really us this game and its perfection to warrant this kind of obsession in my eyes. I mean, you might think that, playing a game is cool and all and that you're dropping into it, but we kind of need to see why it's cool. We need to understand that how it is perfect. And I don't think build up by length is the issue where it needs proper spacing and, flow. It's the fact that, again, you have to make it appeal to really a majority or everyone and get them to see the perfection rather than just talking about it, to make them understand rather than just live in complete belief that, hey, the game is perfect and just throwing people in there. than that. I mean, the backstory, again, this is a little note, but the backstory was sort of a little unnecessary. I mean, when a creepypasta, you just really focus on a paragraph or two and then just go right into the nitty-gritty of it. I mean, we don't really need to see about the whole personal issues of the protagonist in that manner as we did anything else related to the game. But moving on, it's not exactly a shitpasta, because the concept is, in my eyes, it's unique. I like it. And for what it is intriguing enough to keep you thinking, and somewhat creep you out by the sheer fact that it is mysterious. But as far as full-on creepiness, not really. It's, to me, a non-creepy creepypasta, which you might think is a shitpasta or defeats the purpose, but it's cool in its concept, and we've done creepypastas where they haven't really been scary, but the concept in it has been unique to drive you through. And it's not an entirely new thing. I mean, I've seen it in other creepypastas, but this one was where it was most glaring, and I liked it. You know, it was sort of like Console Me and Funny Mouth, leaving the player at fault. Well, those ones really didn't do it, but I mean, this creepypasta itself is leaving the player at fault due to, and you know, dropping into this complete obsession and this unhealthy lifestyle, them and the roommate. In the end, what would you rate it and what would you change to make it better? This has been another episode of Haunted Gaming, and if you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. This is me, Mudahar, and I am out.